Alright, so I'm in a hunting blind. This represents the first test for the E2N monocular. I hope to use it to identify hogs that come into this field. I'll be hunting over some bait sites. Looking out to the left window here, you'll see a cut that goes towards one feeder in the distance at 114 yards. This field has a lot of scrub brush, mesquite, and cactus that creates some hot spots, so I'll have to essentially work to identify the animals through all of these other heat-absorbing organic materials out here. I'll pause the footage here for just a second. We are going to have hogs come in, and I'll put a yellow arrow about the area that they come in at, which is about 200 yards out. The far tree line is about 400 yards out, just to give you some basis for the range and perspective. So you'll see that video coming up shortly. Okay, very good. And then panning back to the front now. There's another feeder out here at about 110 yards. And again, I'm elevated about 14 to 16 feet in the air, so that brush there doesn't look very high, but I assure you, you'll see when I get on the ground level just how much of a visual detractor it is to seeing. So yeah, looking forward to putting the E2N into service in this application, static blind hunting, and we'll hopefully bring you some visual illustrations of hogs in this field. Okay, so here's the same scene, but looking through the E2N on the video recorder. And so we'll toggle through the color palettes real quick. Black hot, red hot, pseudo color, target ID, and again back to white hot. And so in this visual illustration, you can see what I was referring to with the cactus bundles being bright white, littered all throughout the field. So I'll have to visually identify or detect any animal signatures moving through these areas, and that poses a challenge. But once you get to comfortable using your thermal monocular and looking for specific animal movements, it becomes much easier to accomplish. So, and then obviously when the sun sets and things begin to cool off in the environment itself, then the animals will stick out a little more than they would during the daytime, which is where this video is being taken. So yeah, base magnification here, not using any e-zoom, but just working, panning the field right to left as I'm doing now is the intended purpose with this monocular, to try and detect the game, and then we'll see if we can identify them as deer, cattle, there's some cattle in this area, or pigs, using the onboard features to work the image. Alright, so the next scene will have some hogs in it, and at about that point I pointed to earlier in the video.
Alright, we have hogs coming in about 300 yards out. From the position here. It's still daytime. Looks to be a small group. That's a deer right there. Those are the pigs right there. I guess they're about 100 yards away right now. They're not very big in size. About 50 yards from where he was first shot. And we have a pig down and recovered thanks to the INFIRAY thermal monocular.